Naissaar, formerly Nargen, is an island in the Gulf of Finland northwest of Tallinn, 8.5 kilometers from the mainland, almost uninhabited, formerly the territory of administrative territorial villages of Leunaküla. The area of the island is 18.6 square kilometers according to Google. The population is 35 people. Maybe this is true, but during our expedition, one of the owners of the shop stall told us that only 8 people live on the island in winter. Island located 10 kilometers from Tallinn, so we decided to go there with boat. But you can go there with a regular service boat. The regular service to Naissaar runs from May to October. The service is organized by the company Monica. It's 200-seat ship named also Monica, which departs from Tallinn to Naissaar from the opposite Pirita Yacht Club harbor. Naissaar attracts tourists with the beautiful beaches, hiking trails, wartime heritage, and a summer cultural festival. On the east and south coast of the island there are lovely beaches areas with clean sand and thickets of wild roses. The main part of the island is covered with forest. In July you can pick blueberries here, in August and September lingonberries. On Naissaar there are many large boulders brought here by the glacier. The entire island is a protected area. Due to its location, Naissaar has played an important defensive role for centuries. During the time of the Peter the Great, an artillery battery was built to block access to Tallinn from the Gulf of Finland with the help of cannon fire. In the southern part of the island, there is a mine factory built in Soviet times and now abandoned. From the time when the island was at disposal of the Soviet armed forces, a narrow gauge railway has also been preserved. Nowadays, this railway used as a tourist attraction, and you can also ride it if you want to, of course for money. So if we started to talk about tourist attractions, let me introduce you things that you can do on Naissaar. And as I said, first thing is simply train ride. You can ride on it through the whole island and see the beautiful nature of Naissaar. Second thing is there are 3 hiking trails on the island, which is almost 13 kilometers long. The first is the military trail, second the cultural trail, and third the nature trail, all of which are signposted. Instead of hiking, you can book a guided tour on a bicycle, Soviet-era truck or SUV. In the village Leunaküla there are museums about Soviet army and the history of Ireland. Near the port there is a place for tents. You can also spend the night in a campsite or in a holiday home with all amenities. However, our expedition decided to pitch their tent on the southern coast of an island. But the actually best way to visit island is hiking. You should stay here some night and sleep in tent, because it will be unforgettable experience for you. If you got stressed out from work routine, it's actually one of the best activities to do on island. Now I suggest you to talk about history of Ireland. According to Estonian legend, the island rose from the bottom of the sea with a woman, hence its name, which literally means woman's island. Most of wooden floors in the house of medieval Tallinn are made of Naissaar timber. The forest was also needed for military purposes, so the Danish king Erik Menved forbade cutting it. In 1788, Admiral Grey built a lighthouse on the island, lately attacked by an English squadron during the Northern and Crimean Wars. Due to the strategic position of the island on the approach to Revel, fortifications were built on it from the 18th century. And in 1811, the island was turned into a land dreadnought, covering the Revel Raid with its guns. In December 1917, a group of Russian sailors proclaimed the creation of an independent Soviet Republic of sailors and builders who were engaged in construction work on the island under the leadership of Stepan Petruchenko. In February 1918, after the capture of Tallinn by German troops, Russian sailors left the island. At the end of 1918, Bolshevik sailors from the Minions, Spartak and Avtro, captured by British squadron in the battles near the island, were kept in a concentration camp on the island. From 3rd to 5th of February of 1919, 27 sailors were executed on the island. According to Soviet data, 36 people. The decision of the Estonian Naval Court, signed by Commander of the Naval Forces, Navy Captain Johan Pitka, indicated the court sentenced 27 sailors to death. 26 were executed. One managed to escape. Until 1941, community of Swedes were living on island. In 1841, it was occupied by Nazi troops. In 1844, after the liberation from Nazi troops, an air defense regiment was deployed on the island to cover the Tallinn naval base. Subsequently, local residents were forcibly completely evicted, and outsiders were not allowed on the island. The island hosted a coastal artillery regiment of the Navy and a military hospital, as well as civilian personnel from the hydrographic service of the Navy to maintain the newly built concrete Naissaar lighthouse and the other luminous safety signs. From the year 1953 to the year 1956, in the central part of the island, on an area of 32 hectares, a naval unit was built for the storage of mine, anti-mine and submarine weapons. There were stored several thousand mines, anti-mine trolls, a large number of anti-submarine weapons, depth charges of the pre-war and war periods of release, jet depth charges to ship jet bombing installations. The staff of the military unit included mine team, Department of Engine Drivers of Motor Locomotives of Narrow Gauge Railway, Fire Brigade, Guard Company, Lifting and Transport Equipment Team, Diesel Power Plant Team, Boiler Team, and Logistic Division with food and clothing warehouses, a fuel and lubricants warehouses, and a bakery. The garrison included Air Defense Missile Battalion, withdrawn in 1988, the post of Navy for radar surveillance of the surface situation in the northern part of the island. According to unverified data, a warehouse of the USSR Navy and a plant of assembling mines. The island was constantly under radar surveillance by the coastal units of the border troops, periodically guarded by 2 border ships from the west and east. Military town number 148 for the families to officers and midshipmen was built in the southern part of the island near the former village of Lõunaküla. There was a narrow gauge railway, 34 kilometers long, included 12 kilometers built in the post-war period, now partly operated as a car ride tourist attraction. All military units located on the island had annual supplies of the fuel and the food. In summer, autumn and spring, communication with the island was maintained with the help of military transport ships of the hydrographic service of the Baltic Fleet, and in the autumn-winter period until 1988. Due to storm and ice, military transport aircraft to the airfield near Cape Hulgekari in the south of the island. Since 1987, all the ammunition has been destroyed. Since 1982, modern weapons have been removed in order to exclude any possibility of leaving them in Estonia. As I said, since 1982 the supply has been stopped, the boiler house has failed, and there has been no replenishment of the personnel to replace those demobilized. On 20th of July 1994, Russian troops were completely withdrawn. Until now, mats are scattered all over the island, from which craftsmen make furniture. At the end, I have nothing left to say. I will put just some beautiful footages I made, so take a look and enjoy. I would just recommend you to visit this island, and trust me, you will not be disappointed.